All right, welcome everybody to Youngstown Studio. I'm BJ Lisco here, and I'm with Cory from Booze Bandage down in Key West. Man, how are you, Cory?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good, good. Thanks for being here, man. So, for those that don't know, the Booze Bandage is it's a little patch that you stick on when you start drinking, and it helps prevent hangovers, basically. So you feel a whole heck of a lot better the next day.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cory. So tell me a little bit about the company, man. How it got started.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of always my joke, but the reality of it is I moved to Key West. I've been down there for about 10 years now. I was about 35 when I started the company, so moved to Key West, started drinking more, and
Mhm.
obviously hangovers were a lot worse than they were earlier on. So pretty much had to find out a way to, to cure the problem. So found other companies out there doing something similar, and basically did a lot of research on it and stuff like that, and then found a way to actually manufacture them, which our product is actually made 100% here in the U.S. So there's no overseas stuff, nothing from China, nothing, anything like that. So it took a lot of time to figure that out and to figure out the whole
Mhm.
process of it and everything. But basically, essentially, the patch is what the trick is. It's just a more effective way to get the vitamins back into your system. So, but just did a lot of research on it and stuff, and figured out how to make it work and all come together. And yeah, it's been almost 8 years in business now. So
Yeah, man. I was at the Rock Island Festival last year, and for one of the days, and I saw you guys had a thing set up there, and like, hey man, you want to try this? I'm like, yes, sign me up. Like, if I'm gonna feel better tomorrow
yeah.
from all the drinking I'm about to do at this concert.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked really well, and I've been a repeat customer, man. But yeah, talk a little bit about too. Key West, man, because yeah, Key West is a drinking town.
Yeah, it is for sure. There's always something going on. There's always an event. There's always a parade. There's something always going on. It's an awesome place to be. Vacationing, visiting. Obviously, there's a ton of things to do, but a lot of it is based around the drinking aspect and everything like that. A ton of bars up and down Duval Street. Which most people know Duval Street's the main drag through Key West there, where everything is.
Mhm.
But yeah, a great place for the product, obviously, to start and grow it, but then obviously too, just a great place in general, as far as that drinking, community and stuff like that. So
Mhm. When did you notice, like, hangovers start to really become a thing? Because for me, I'm 43. It probably
yeah,
happened a little after I turned 40, like, right
yeah,
in there where I was like, I started to like, I was just but, like, before that, like, you might feel a little groggy in the morning, whatever,
mhm,
but a couple hours to the day, you're like, "Ah, I'm okay," you know what I mean? And you could even, like, even kinda stack nights drinking in a row, you know what I mean? You
yeah,
could go back to back to
yeah,
where now it's like, boy, it's really hard to do it's
yeah.
really hard to stack them. You know what I mean?
You're
And
down,
it's
you're down for 2 days now, trying to recover and stuff to feel normal again. Yeah. I mean, I'd say probably around that time. Like I said, I was about 35 when I started a company. I'm 42 now, so I'm right there with you. But yeah, about that time, about 35, I want to say. And like I say, part of that was due to being in Key West, and it's just it's so easy to drink there as well. And as far as like the bars and the way everything's set up, you can technically, I tell everyone, I'm like, you can technically drink in Key West legally in a bar 24 hours a day. Because you
Mhm.
can go from your bar that closes at 4 a.m. to the after hours place that stays open till 8 a.m. And then there's already bars that are open at 7 a.m. So it's,
Mhm.
you can definitely, it's definitely a different element there, where I think part of it also is a lot of it. I don't think it's technically legal, but it's looked past that you're allowed to walk around in the streets with drinks in your hand.
Mhm.
So, most places you go to, the downtime in between bars or wherever you're at, obviously you're not drinking there, you really don't stop. You leave with a drink at one bar, walk to the next one, start drinking again at the next one. So I think some of that aspect is what really, you end up drinking more than what you realize and stuff there too, because like I say, nobody's telling you, hey, you got to throw that drink out before you leave the bar. So you just walk out and keep on going.
Right, right.
So
So, what would you say separates the Booze Bandage from a lot of the other, kinda hangover remedies out there? Because there's a lot of them, and it's
yeah,
funny, the second you buy one of them on social media, then you're flooded
yep,
with the
yep,
50 other
absolutely.
ones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so but
So,
yeah,
I
but
mean, yeah, yeah, there's a lot of it. So, I mean, the concept behind it so ours specifically, so all that's actually in the patch is B1 vitamin, which is thiamine. And that's one of the main vitamins you deplete out of your system when basically processing the alcohol through your system, to put it in easy terms, pretty much. But that gets depleted when you're drinking. And essentially, the patch is replacing that vitamin, putting it back into your system, building it back up to where you need to be at the right levels to feel normal. There is a lot of other ones out there. Some work for some people, some don't. Everybody's body's different. So, I couldn't even say that this is it's guaranteed to work for everybody. It's going to make you feel a whole lot better. But, if you go out on a heavy bender, it's not going to make you feel like $1,000,000 like you've never drank anything,
Mm.
But the fact of the patch, essentially the patch is what the trick is. So the patch is going onto your skin, the vitamins being released through your skin transdermally, almost directly in your bloodstream. So it's a much more effective way to get it. So essentially, a short of an IV, it's the most
Mm.
effective way to get any kind of vitamin or drug or whatever is in the patch into your system, really. So that being said, there's a lot of drinks, there's a lot of pills. There's a lot of other ones that I've seen. The one that kind of blew me away was I don't honestly don't even remember the name, but there was one that basically you had to take, and I might not even have this exactly right, but essentially it was take a pill when you go out, take another one while you're out. Then when you get
Mm.
home, you're supposed to drink a bottle of water, take an additional pill, or a drink. Like I say, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm like, you're talking to drunk people. You give them 3, 4 steps to do it, especially late at night after they've already been drinking all night. Ain't nobody gonna remember that.
Right.
So ours is just kind of it's kind of stupid simple. You go out, you make it part of your normal routine. You slap it on, go have your few drinks, have a good time. Don't even think about it. You wake up in the morning, peel it off, and go about your day. So I think simplicity is some of it too. As far as the difference of basically the effectiveness of it, but then the simplicity of just put it on and forget about it.
Yeah, there was one, and I'm trying to remember the name of it, where yeah, it was like it wanted you to take a pill every couple hours, and it was
Yeah.
like, oh, and drink a bottle of water with your. It's like, well, okay, if I'm taking 3 or 4 of these pills and I have 4 bottles of water in the middle of this, like that's probably why, like
Yeah.
it's more the water, I think, than
Yeah.
than the pill than anything else. But yeah, it was sort of, but yeah, like you said, when you're in the middle of drinking and stuff, like to be chugging bottles of water like every other drink or whatever, it's like nobody does that.
No. And I mean, there is people that drink like that, that have probably a lot less severe hangovers, and hydration is a big part of it. So, like ours, there's no hydration factor in it, so obviously drinking water on top of having the patch on only is going to benefit you more. So obviously
Mm.
rehydrating is key as well. So, but a lot of it is a lot of people don't realize is that it's really the hangover effects are really part of just having a big lack of the vitamins you need in your body and your system to work correctly. So
Mm.
replenishing them back in there is any of the essential vitamins is just going to be key to making you feel better the next day.
How have you seen the company grow over the course of the last 8 years?
Good. It's been a steady growth. I've kind of kept it a little bit slower in a sense, just because I don't want it to seem like a gimmick, because obviously a lot of people don't know about this technology. They don't know about it for a hangover. The transdermal patch has been around since the '60s. So in the medical field, they use it for a lot of different things. Birth control, nicotine patches,
Mm.
fentanyl patches. Those are all the same technology. It's just what's actually infused in the patch that you're putting into your system. So a lot of that's been it's somewhat of a teaching curve to people, because you got to kind of obviously explain to them what it is. They got to learn what the patch is and what it's actually doing to them, and it's something you're putting into somebody's body, so you obviously have to trust it and know that it's something that is safe for you and everything like that. So that being said, I've kind of kept it a little bit slower, to the point where I didn't want it to be such a gimmick where I'm just forcing it down people's throat and people buy it one time and then never use it again, because I
Mhm.
want people to believe in it, because it does actually work. So I rather make a believer and a long-term customer than just, basically pushing it out there, one-time sales. So, like you were saying, like Rock Island, events like that, especially in-person, face-to-face events we can do. We love doing those, especially when they're multiple day events like Rock Island, the Mile Zero Fest and everything, because then you get the same people that come back day after day, and they, you
Mhm.
get the results right there in front of you, and it's like, hey, it worked, it didn't work. Okay, well, here, let me give you some pointers to maybe you didn't do it correctly, to make sure you're putting it on right or whatever, make sure you're using it correctly so that you're getting the full effects of it. And then also, like I say, you just get that return. And it's funny, see, some of these ones we get. I remember the one we had a guy, he came in, I forget what he said. It was big redneck guy, and he comes in, he's like, man, this thing don't work. I'm coming back here tomorrow and I'm gonna kick your ass tomorrow. And I go, well, hey, look, I'm like, listen, I'm in the same tent, the same spot tomorrow. Come see me tomorrow. And sure enough, he came back, and he's, big tough guy, that didn't believe in it and didn't think it was going to do anything. He's like, you know what? I drank a lot. I put it to the test, and he's like, I didn't feel half bad. He's like, I'm here again, doing it again. He's like, let me buy
Mm.
another one for today. I'm going to try it again today. So, just seeing people's reaction like that, really makes, helps the growth too, because, Key West as well. That's one of the big things that's really helped as well, because, it's a tourist town, so people come there, like yourself, you come there on vacation, you see things that you've never seen before, you try things, and then you go home, and then good thing about us, you can buy them online. So you go home, order them online, and then you can have them shipped to you. So I think Key West, definitely where we're at and where we started at, is a big help to the success as well too.
What have been from a small business perspective? What have been some of the biggest challenges?
I mean, most of what I've done in my previous businesses has been face-to-face stuff. So the internet aspect of it is tricky for me, because it's like, for me, it just feels like you spend a lot of money and a lot of a lot of legwork, a lot of money just out there, on advertising and stuff like that, trying to get traffic to the website. And like Google and things like that, it seems like, if you don't meet their exact criteria or what they want to see, they don't direct the traffic that you were like or what you were paying for, that you were hoping you're going to get out of it. So I think that's probably been my biggest, right there. Because if I could be a different place every day of the week, talking to people every day of the week, I think I could be selling 10 times as many, because it's that in person. I can explain it to you. You can know what it is, try it, and everything like that. The internet stuff, I think, is just the tricky part for me, just because it's getting it out there to people and having people actually believe in the ad that they see and not think it's just a gimmick and actually try it.
So I want to get some Key West stories from you here too. So what obviously a major party town. What is I guess the drunkest you've ever seen anybody in Key West that was kind of still standing? Are there any like really good sort of really good drunk? I mean, for anybody that hasn't been to Key West, like you said, Duval is like, it's just bar to bar to bar, and there's something cool to see pretty much everywhere, and cool to hang. But yeah, man, what are some memorable stories from hanging out drinking in Key West?
I'll give him a little tag here. But if you go to Key West Gravity Chronicles on Facebook, if you haven't seen that or whatever, it's funny, because basically people they take pictures and then post it to the page. I think they're monitored and stuff like that, and obviously make sure that they fall within the right content and stuff. But it's literally people passed out, sleeping on the sidewalk, not like bums, people that are legitimate people, just got way too drunk and didn't make it 10 steps out of the bar and passed out on the sidewalk and stuff, So there's a lot of that, and like I said, it catches up with you quick, because I think just the aspect of you not having to stop drinking walking between bars, you're having, you say you're having another, if you went to 8 bars or something, and you're drinking in between, that's possibly another 8 drinks that you got into your system walking between bars than what you normally would, So yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff that happens out there. I mean, the other thing is you're surrounded by water, so you get, people walking up the docks, you've seen people stumble, miss a step, next thing you know, they're in the water. There's a lot of stuff out there, but yeah, probably a lot of stories that I couldn't tell on here, but there's definitely some crazy stuff that goes on for sure. So.
Nice, man. So, what do you think? Sort of, what's some of the short and long-term goals for the company?
I mean, short term is just overall day-to-day growth in customers and believers and stuff like that. So I'm always looking for different aspects, different avenues to get out there and talk to people and stuff. And because the thing is, like I said, at the end of the day, it's not a gimmick. It's not something I'm trying to make a one-time sale off of people. I'm trying to get and also it's healthy. It's an all-natural vitamin that you're just putting back into your system. So, there's no extra additive, there's no other stuff you're putting in your system, so there's a health factor to it, and then also just, to make you feel better, because obviously if you can make somebody go out, have a great time, wake up the next day feeling better than what they normally would, I mean, that's a win, so, but long-term goals, I'd like to see, I've been working on bigger distribution stuff and everything like that. That can be a little challenging to get into some of these bigger distributors and stuff. It's a little bit of a weird market to kind of learn. I've done some of it, but this is obviously it kind of, I've run into too as well with like, even like Google and stuff like that, it's because of the name, it says booze in it. So a lot of, whether it's AI or computers or even people, that look it over, for marketing aspects or placement, they see the name booze in it. They automatically think, oh, wait, hold on, this is alcohol related, but it's not. It's literally just natural vitamins. So, so some of that's a challenge or whatever. But yeah, realistically, long-term goal, I'd like to see it. We have right now, I think we're sitting about 50-ish resellers across the country right now. Got a couple in Canada, a couple in Alaska, which is pretty interesting to me. So Alaska, obviously, I've heard is a very big drinking place. Got a couple of resellers there as well. But yeah, so we're kind of, spreading out little by little and stuff. And, I'd really like it to get to be, would you say like just a known brand name pretty much anywhere you go, so even if it's not necessarily on every shelf that you walk in any kind of store, at least if you see the name, you'll realize and say, oh wait, yeah, I heard of that, so it's kind of the goal, just obviously, bigger expansion to reach more people and stuff. So that's really where we want to be, just, in more store shelves, more, and a lot of what I do too is a lot of the marketing and a lot of the sales and resellers we have now currently are bars, because in my eyes, I could set these up in every 7-Eleven or gas station or whatever in the world, but you could go buy it at the gas station, go home, throw it on your nightstand. Well, guess what? If it's not in your normal routine and you don't pick it up and bring it with you when you go out, you're like, oh crap, I wish I had that thing with me, when you don't. So some of it is we do it in the bars, I set up bars, I get the bartenders behind it, obviously you get bartenders believing in it, and then it's an easy sale for the bar, so that aspect of it gets the bar another revenue source. And then also, if you can provide them with something, obviously providing them with drinks to have a great time, provide them with something else that's going to make them feel better the next day, well, guess what? They're probably going to come back wanting more and feel better the next day as well. So, but bars have really kind of been one of our main areas to focus on as far as actually sales and stuff like that. So
nice, man. Well, Cory, but thank you so much for like I said, for the time today, man, and best of luck with everything with the Booze Bandage, man. We'll we'll definitely put this out there here in the next couple of days, man, and hopefully draw some traffic your way, man. But again, thank you, like I said, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the time.
Definitely appreciate you having me on. Thanks, man.